missed the first semifinal, make sure you go back and watch it at some point. Here we are. In the red, we have Liereyy. He's playing as the Britons, opening up with an archery range. Surprise, surprise. And Viper is in the yellow. No range yet for Viper. We've got to imagine he's going to add an archery range as well.
Yeah, very, very likely there for sure. What two extremely weird maps. Look at Liereyy just having a massive wood line in front of his base. So easy to wall then. Obviously, wood could be ranged over that area. Doesn't have a lot of natural defensive wood lines. Viper, super open gold at the front.
Yeah, and he's got... he's actually lost his first game in every set. He lost his first game to Miguel on Arabia. He then lost his first game to Nikov on Arabia. And one game in particular, his golds were exposed, and he tried to boom, and Miguel punished it. So, as I look at this now, like, Viper's gold's going to be a real issue, but I think if this gets to Castle Age and is close, Leary's wood could be an issue. Where? He has no wood in the back! None!
Yeah. He has to hold the front, and then the walls that you normally think are the ones you want to get, like down left-hand side and on the right-hand side, aren't that great anymore. Maybe Mangonel push in that wood line could be really good for Viper and Castle Age.
It's just anything. If Viper is able to get one army there in Castle Age, obviously a few more trees will be chopped too. I think Viper will be able to range quite a bit here. Now, the difference between the civilizations, Britons, they get the sheep bonus, which is incredible for them here. Also, Britons have the faster working ranges, and also when Castle Age kicks in, they get +1 range. Ethiopians get +100 gold and +100 food when they arrive to each age, and they have faster firing archers nearly. So those are the key differences for the civs as we compare similar strategies.
And Viper already opting to use his 100 extra food and get the wood up, or the farm upgrade, compared to Liereyy, both obviously going for the wood upgrade. Viper runs around a bit, drops the second archery range, runs around at the left-hand side. Not sure if Liereyy will close that in time.
He sees it, obviously, he could attack the villager, so Leary's got to think twice about this. And I think, while I know that Liereyy is trying to go up to Castle Age quickly, and he's trying to keep himself safe, I'm kind of surprised that he scouted Viper's base and didn't go forward to try and abuse that area. Maybe he felt like he'd be walled up or towered by now.
Maybe he feels okay if we just fight 3 archers with 3 archers. Ethiopian will just outshoot me there and wants to wait for Castle Age while he finishes the walls at the left-hand side.
Yep.
Clutch.
I think if he sees Viper's scout lingering around, he knows Viper's trying to send something this way. And we'll see how quickly he reacts now that the archers arrive. He runs away with the Vill. He has his archers over here on the right. So I think he's going to be happy with this. And Liereyy will click up to Castle Age first, just missing 10 gold. And there it is. Liereyy with a very safe start, Nili. Not aggressive.
Absolutely safe. Walls at the left-hand side. And Viper, you see, he knows Liereyy is too good to ever allow him damage there. Instantly sends his archers away.
All right, so Viper got Horse Collar in Feudal Age. I'm used to the first age being Dark Age, even on the final day of this tournament. So his farms are going to last a bit longer, but that was 75 food and 75 wood he invested into this age, slowing him down slightly, and also didn't have the sheep bonus. So Liereyy will have, 50 seconds, 49 seconds to really push his advantage with Britons.
Yeah, but he's camping at home. I'm not sure if he even wants to do that. Maybe he thinks, okay, with this woodline and I'm so open at the bottom, be safe first and then move out in late Castle Age. Doesn't want to take too much damage.
What do you think about him adding Elite Skirmisher? I'm rather surprised by that. I feel like Britons, if they have the extra range, should just go for crossbows right now. And maybe if anyone's going to go for Elite Skirm, it'd be Viper, who would be more worried about the range. But Liereyy wants to go for both Elite Skirm and crossbow.
Well, not sure about Elite, but he surely goes for normal skirms now to defend. Tries to catch maybe any loop-around armies from Viper to defend them, and sends his archers forward, but might run into Viper, who has 2 more archers there.
Or they could just be passing here. Viper, I think we'll spot Liereyy with the spear at least. Yeah, okay, they see each other. And Liereyy, right now, could benefit from the extra range if he wants to. So Viper's going to have to micro. And Viper does micro. The Spearman not that useful for him here. And he's on 3 ranges, Viper. So Viper really wants to get the production up. We will see a lot of splits. Ballistics might not even matter at a certain point.
Yeah, those two are so crazy. Spearman went down, Scout went down. Viper, he needs to micro, needs to buy himself some time. Still doesn't have the upgrades.
Oh, this could be really dicey for Viper. It is so far as he's wisely dodging the shots. He's getting crossbows, getting bodkin, no ballistics on the way for Liereyy. He's actually opted for a second TC. And Viper with the splits has not lost a single unit yet, at least from his group of archers. And now they're going to be on similar upgrades.
Liereyy without Botkin, by the way. Viper now has Botkin.
He can't afford it. Again, the skirmishers don't make sense to me. Like, why did we make those skirmishers? Ballistics on the way, Nili, and even without Bodkin, it would be 7 range v 7 range. Now Bodkin for Liereyy backs up. Where's that second TC at for Liereyy? On the golds. I like it, but the woodline's still a big issue for him.
Yeah, but a TC there won't really fix that problem. Ballistics now, Botkin for Liereyy is coming in. Viper with the hill and faster shooting archers, but it's retreating.
Yeah, retreating and now going back to the hill as his ballistics is about to complete. So it is 21 military versus 20, 44 villagers versus 44. I hear a siege workshop too for Viper. That's a really big investment into the attack here.
Absolutely, you can only drop 1 extra TC. I'm a bit surprised. Siege workshop against Britain is something we don't usually see because those crossbowmen would outrange a Mangano.
The first thing I looked at after I saw the siege workshop was, does Viper have 200 stone? Because normally it's tough to go for TCs and 3 ranges and ballistics and also the siege workshop. But maybe he feels like he needs a bit more as he's going for this fancy patrol. It wasn't the fanciest of patrols, to be honest, but wants to get that firing speed working for him, so he's firing as quickly as possible. Liereyy will have an eco lead here. He has the range lead, and he protects his woodline with the town center on the opposite side.
You see the numbers at the top, 22 v 22 military at the bottom. You can see slightly more value for the Viper, though, since you went for Mangano, didn't go for any skirmishes. So his army is stronger at the moment. Needs to use that, though.
All right, both players going in for an engagement. Liereyy happy to sit on the hill. All right, let's talk quick percentages, Nili. What % chance do you give Liereyy to win this game if he's on this hill? And what % chance do you give Liereyy to win this game if he somehow loses this hill?
Oof, if he loses this hill, the game is over.
So, 0.
That's like, under 5%.
Okay.
It's not guaranteed that he wins the game if he holds that hill, but the moment he loses that one, he loses all his wood control, the gold there at the front. He must not lose it.
Yeah. The only questions I've really asked of Leary's play so far were the skirmishers, because he made them and they're not useful for him now. Even against the crossbows when they're not elite. Just not useful. But the decision to make a siege workshop defensively, and now almost sensing that Viper might be going over to the left side and getting town watch, so we can see if Viper gets close to the woodline. This is really good play from the Austrian, and he has better eco to back it up. Viper is on 3 TCs, himself, but he's gonna really struggle to do damage against Britons.
If we get into Imperial Age, then the range isn't that crazy anymore. In the moment we have like 40 Arbalests running to 40 Arbalests. Yeah, you take some losses, but impossible to micro away at that crazy mountain and imp and so many angles. So Viper is fine with not taking too many fights. Maybe goes around left-hand side, has 2 Manganots around searching for some damage.
Yeah, Viper's army's not together right now. I'm just going to talk about it before it happens, because it might be coming up here. When you're firing uphill with any units, you're doing less damage. There's something called a delete trick, where you delete your Mangonel while firing up a hill. It does normal damage because the game forgets that you were at a disadvantage, if that makes sense. Viper's certainly at a disadvantage right now with army position, though. His reinforcements are being lost, and Lierey's just pushing forward, but Liereyy could give up the hill.
Yeah, but he's running into Viper's hill at the same time. 4th archer range denied there. The villagers have to run away from the gold. And I'm not too sure. The siege workshop nicely positioned there. This is maybe slightly better for Liereyy.
I'm not. Well, Lierey's coming back, so maybe now it's better for Viper. Liereyy has the range. He has the skills to micro down Mangonels with Britons. He's got one. He's got another one. Misses. Now Viper's turn to micro, as Viper will fire. And no, he won't fire. Liereyy lost some villagers on the woodline, and that's the only woodline for Liereyy, so it will harass him. A Viper still behind in Eco. What a moment there, Nili. That was crazy.
Ooh, both players could have lost so much more there. Kind of getting out of there alive, 26 to 20 kills. Not the bloodbath that could have been upon us.
I feel like Viper is worse off because of that. But actually the statistics look almost identical to what they were before the fight. It's still 39 military for Liereyy, 35 for Viper. I think there was a 2 or 3 4 unit difference there. And still Liereyy maintains a slightly better economy. So I don't even know. What I do see is that Lierey's going to stone. So he realizes he's going to need to protect this hill with more than just siege at some point.
Yeah, Viper realizes that as well. A bit earlier there onto stone, now takes into lead skirmishes. Not a lot of villagers on gold at the moment. Tries to run away on the top. No second armor for him. Not unlikely that that will fly in now that he has skirmishes on the field.
Viper behind on Arabia. And Lierey's about to click up. But Viper has not got a win on Arabia yet. In Red Bull Wololo, and Liereyy will be in a great spot to catch Viper's army out. I don't even see a lead skirmisher working right now. Not if Liereyy has the Mangonels, and there goes Liereyy on his way to imp. What incredible macro.
Well, he didn't tech into all the skirmishes that are taking away food now from the Viper. Viper actually has more farms, so quite surprising to see that. Crossbows at the top. Not really finding any damage. Ran away quite far.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Viper was running or if he was trying to like catch Liereyy out, thinking Liereyy would attack him. But he knew that Liereyy arrived to his base a moment ago, and Viper has, I'd say, about 2 minutes to do a lot of damage against Liereyy before this gets even more dangerous.
Yeah, but he's so far out of position. That's not going to happen. 2 Mangonels out there. Could do a lot against the skirmishers. That's risky by the Viper.
Viper could get hit by a big shot. Big attack round from Liereyy. And half of Viper's army there gets slaughtered. The other half is weak. And now Liereyy will be in Imperial Age way faster than Viper, with much better military than Viper. That was huge. What an attack round.
And you see how Liereyy knows how far ahead he is. Every other player jumps on this, right? Tries to kill the other skirmishes.
Yeah.
And Liereyy knows, okay, now after killing this army, there's not a lot of stuff that can happen to me. Just need to control the left-hand side, get my upgrades, and then it's always going to be super tough for my opponent.
Okay, let's talk. We know that Lierey's in a great position. Let's talk about what Viper can do over the next, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes, because he's going to have to weather a real storm here. What is it, Nili? Is it skirmishers and guard towers? Is it skirmishers and castles?
Wow. 10 castles is a big task. I think it's just full skirmisher trying to out-micro the Mangonels, but it's 4 Mangonels on the field as well. Not going to be too easy. Viper, he will suffer a lot. I think he has to give up his positioning with all the archer ranges and his gold.
Yeah, and Liereyy with the siege. I wouldn't mind Liereyy going for a few rams to ram them down faster than what Mangonels would do, but he is going to range everything. Upgrades on the way. There's Bracer. And Viper, he runs away, it flees from a few farms, has already built new ranges, but look how quickly these skirmishers will go down. He's going to need so many.
Yeah, he needs all the upgrades before he can engage there. Has to accept some losses. And oh, look at that hyper-aggressive castle by Liereyy.
Liereyy, he does not want to give Viper any time. Now, kind of feel like there's some risk here. If Viper's able to get his upgrades on his skirmishers and maybe loop around with the other army. Still, Lierey's in such a commanding position. I don't hate the castle. It's next to 2 town centers from Viper. Can't see Viper's army right now, Nili. He's got to be confused.
He's sending some crossbow to cut off some reinforcements. Lierey's trying to wall that stone wall at the bottom. Mangonels are coming over. Skirmishes for the defense. Viper, if he had a castle, he could maybe trap this one down, but still not building one.
Yeah, still no castle for him. Was pushed off of
the army in the center.
stones.
Maybe Mangonel could shoot Tristan.
Mangonel will not shoot yet. Liereyy expected this counterattack, didn't he? Because he's starting to get the stone walls up, which is a great move. Mangonel should go down, doing no damage. But how does Viper deal with this? Maybe, like, in a normal, or not a normal game, but against most civilizations, I'd say Ethiopians go bombard cannon here. But Britons have such range with their arbalest that bombard cannons normally aren't the play.
Yeah, that's true. And then again, you want to do Rams against Britons, but against 4 Mangonels already,
Yeah.
you need 8 siege Rams plus to break this.
Vipers pop much lower in every single category. This is why Britons are preferred over Ethiopians. Look at this. There's nothing Viper can really do. If he wants to take a fight, he has to accept he's going to lose 5 units before his units even engage.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate for him. First trap out, losing his main TC. Liereyy is going in for the kill here. We'll find more villager kills.
And my game is crashed, Nili, so we'll go to your point of view. It's crashed, Nili, so we'll go to your point of view.
Okay,
Finish out the game.
We are set up here. Surprise Pikachu phase. First TC might go down here. Arbala still active. Skirmishers trying to find some damage, but won't really. Castle under some threat here. Viper still with no trap production. Doesn't have the gold. And Skirmishers, ooh, taking big hits.
He can't really comfortably take anything on the right-hand side. I just don't see a reasonable tech switch where Viper can ever change his situation.
And indeed, it's not going to happen, at least in this game. Such a clean game by Liereyy.
Wow. So, we talked about Lierey's woodline, and then we talked about Viper's gold. Do you think Viper did too much to protect the gold? Is that a thing? 3 ranges and a siege workshop with university and ballistics?
I'm not really sure if that's just protection, right? I think maybe some more skirmishes could have been something against Britons. It's never going to be easy. Distance was relatively long. Liereyy walled off one side, camped on the other side, did go for some skirmishes to survive as well, and then it's always going to be tricky in Castle Age. Instant ballistic. Liereyy didn't leave a lot of grounds to attack, although he had this unfortunate woodline.
I just never felt like Liereyy was in trouble at all there. And it was Viper trying to do what he could against Britons. You mentioned Battle of Africa 2, which is a team game tournament, so we won't talk about it too much. But Lierey's role was always Britons, Ethiopians, just wall up, go archers, and boom to imp. And that's exactly what he did there. That was so clean. So Nili, Viper's going to have to regroup. We can go to the statistics maybe. But pretty cut and dry game for game 1.
Yeah, very clean, very clean. And Viper, he felt, dare I say it, a bit helpless. Didn't really have like the idea, the creativity to break Liereyy there. But I also think Ethiopians will have a tough time. Maybe on Arabia, not the craziest civilization. Britons just feel very smooth.
Yeah. Well, Liereyy cannot pick Britons anymore. Very insightful comment from me there. You can't pick Britons anymore because you can only pick it once.
It's tricky for you. You can't see the statistics at the moment. I probably talk about them a bit. And we see Liereyy with more food eco there. We had the Viper, obviously with the better woodlines, but Liereyy mass crossbow did heavily go for the gold. The timing window there when it comes to Castle and Imperial Age is nice for Liereyy as well. And Viper struggled both times. Liereyy better villager high. Viper never really found the kills over that woodline. Maybe if it was reverse spot and Viper had the extra range, he could have pressured that woodline a bit more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I can understand why Viper added the siege. It's just the main thing that I come back to is Viper added Mangonels and they did nothing. And Liereyy never did that. And Britons have cheaper TCs. So it feels like Viper, if anything, should be the player to not try and go for the siege because he's going to have to catch up with the eco there. It's funny looking at the timeline though, like how even it did look throughout that until Liereyy had the faster imp.
Okay, then let's take a look at the maps here for the Viper. He will have to win. Most likely his 2 home maps and one of the home maps of Liereyy. A tough task ahead of him.
Yeah, okay. Well, Viper, I'm sure has something prepared here. Golden Swamp and Cross, I don't know which one is more confusing for me as far as civs available for Viper, Nili. Are you surprised that Viper's draft looks the way it is when he has those 2?
Golden Swamp, Cross. I think there should probably be a plan for Saracens on Golden Swamp. Cross, he probably just was underwhelmed by Lierey's performance there yesterday. Or against Velez, I believe, right?
Well, I think Liereyy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Liereyy got to choose 2 civs, Huns and then Persians, right? With that turn on the draft?
No. It's
Or-
Liereyy first Vikings,
Oh,
and
and then
Lithuanians
two.
Khmer.
Yeah.
Then the second pack for Liereyy is basically Magyar Huns.
Gotcha. So Viper didn't pick Persians then, which is even more questionable. But hey, we'll see. As you said, the worst performance for Liereyy has been on Cross. Not sure yet which map is going to be chosen, but Viper has not won a single Arabia game. That's incredible. Viper won both King of the Deserts, which is an Arabia-only tournament, and has not won Arabia yet in Red Bull Wololo.
Well, it is not Empire Wars Arabia, and we can jump into game number 3. The Viper will go for his first pick. He will go for Lithuanians. On the other side, we will have Persians for Liereyy, so Huns still an option for a later map.
All right, Persians. Doesn't pick Huns. I'm just wondering if we're going to see Liereyy dock here. I think that's the big takeaway both you, I, and Dave have had is that Persians are great, but you've got to get some docks up. Liereyy opens with a range.
Look at 91. He built a zoo for his archers.
Oh my god, what if he accidentally sends an archer forward without realizing this? Now he'll realize it with the house, I guess.
No, he won't. He built a trap. He built a trap for his archer.
He's going to send the archers around, but
Yeah,
if he's not paying attention, if he ever tries to send his units forward, they could get trapped in there.
Oh god, I think he has to delete that house.
Maybe
Look at that. Is finishing it.
That's Liereyy.
Oh.
He'll just be like, "What? Come on, stupid game," and then continue on. Stable opening for Viper into a range, so he did not go for range stable. So he'll have that second scout out a bit earlier, already sending it in to attack Liereyy as Lierey's building a house, and the other scouts patrolling on the left side on the minimap, which I can't show you right now.
Well, makes sense, right? We're starting with 150 extra food, close to 2 extra scouts. Could be pretty nice. Just getting some harassment in there. No spearmen yet out of Liereyy, and he's not queuing one up. Quite surprising. And he knows he's against a stable opening. That could be problematic for Liereyy.
Very problematic. I know he's a nerd, but how nerdy can he be against 4 scouts? I think that has been the opening for Liereyy almost every single cross game, right? Range into 2 archers, fast fletching, and then a spear or 2, and then back that up with a stable. So I guess he just stays at home for now, Nili. We have not looked at Viper's base too much. Viper's base looks pretty good. The gold, though, could be worrisome on the front, as well as the wood line. But I think the back wood line is going to be something Viper likes as he goes in for the fight.
5 scouts now trying to find another angle. Liereyy has everything at the front. Quick walls at the back. Looks pretty good. Viper will pass that. Maybe try to find an opening at the gold. No. Goes for another angle. Right-hand side while he gets his first stock up.
Yeah, I think Viper will be very happy that after losing game 1, he starts this game off making Liereyy react to him. The first game was relatively passive, to be honest, with players doing the same thing. Cross is not like that. A Viper did dock. There it is, and he will be fishing. That's not something we've seen Liereyy attempt to do yet, as Liereyy just completed Bloodlines on 3 scouts. Or, sorry, I guess he canceled it. But for sure, I saw Bloodlines.
Going for scale budding armor allows you to upgrade them and produce at the same time if you use the blacksmith. Army at the left-hand side of the Vipers coming in there, but no easy kills there. Needs to go in deep to the woodline or gold.
Yeah, he doesn't see that woodline either on the minimap, so Viper will shift to defense. It doesn't waste any time leaving the berries, so that's less food for him at the moment, but Liereyy will see the quick walls from Viper. He'll see that Viper's TC is there, and realize he probably can't push. And now, will he realize that he needs defense at home? He does realize it. He has the game sense, but Viper's already here.
Oh, 2 scouts, 2 archers around there as well. That might not be enough. Tries to fight with the villagers. That's going to be some losses. Microing back with the scout. Not going to happen. 1 villager down. Should be 2 losses at least.
Should be 2. Meanwhile, Viper didn't leave his wood line, and Lierey's taking a good fight as well. And Viper actually chooses to fight with villagers so he can maybe clear up the army from Liereyy. I can't tell who this is worse for right now. Well, Liereyy, weak villagers. Oh my goodness, Nili, what a trade.
Heavy losses on both sides, dropping down in villager numbers. Low HP villagers still left behind this, but it feels like Liereyy has more army at the front.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of Viper versus Miguel game 1, where both players went in for big engagements, and it was 50-50, and Viper loses the 50-50, and Viper's in big trouble now. Look at him leave his gold.
One good thing behind this one is, though, he has 2 docks up, has 5 fishing ships pretty soon. Liereyy didn't even opt for a dock yet.
Yeah. You know, I watched Yo versus Hera, Persians versus Huns, and I thought Hera had that game after the engagements that he took. He had like 30 military, and then all of a sudden Yo's fish kicked in, and he got to Castle Age and made knights. So yeah, Viper could still easily win this with the food income that he has. 2 pawns, one on the left, one in the north, and then it looks like he's sending a villager to the south, Nili.
They're just being pulled to fight this one off. Maybe not even needed. And, well, TC is shooting quite a bit. Oh, look at that. Reinforcement of the scouts through the TC. But that's a lot of scouts.
I know. Liereyy is just one step ahead of Viper, and he's not hesitating to take fights. Viper pulling villagers for the second time this game to fight. Still has more eco. In that instance, I feel like pulling villagers was the play.
How did he scare those scouts away? They have bloodlines +1/+1.
Well, 3 of them were weak, and now the others are a bit weak as well. I can't tell which ones were killed, but somehow he does that. Now, what's still bad for Viper is he cannot take his main gold. So I think if Viper's going for anything, it's got to be scouts. He does have 2 stables. He's not producing scouts. And Leary's on him again. On the berries.
Berries at front. Let's take a look. Can the villagers be caught off guard? Feels like 2 losses there most likely. One villager actually feels like he wants to go to the front.
Viper lost game 1, and there were reasons for it. We talked it through about how strong Britons can be. But here, like, this looks so sloppy. There's a villager right there. Another villager goes down for Viper. Liereyy in the driver's seat, not only in this game, but in this series.
Let's compare the scout upgrades as well. First upgrade for them now coming in. Bloodlines 0-0 otherwise. And, well, Liereyy sitting at 3 blacksmith upgrades. Loops around. Does he want to jump under the tower?
Oh, he's got to be tempted. At the very least, I think you've got to ask questions of Viper. You don't want to throw your army away, but you've got to make Viper stay at home so Viper can't get any counter damage in.
Tristan, something we didn't mention, and I have no idea how that happened. Look at the left-hand side. There's 7 villagers working with gold, just finishing a mining camp.
That's such a Viper thing to find the extra gold and somehow get away with it. Leary's like, he can't take gold, he can't take gold, he can't take gold. There's a gold there. Okay, so there is some gold income for Viper. Also, Viper's docked the south pond and has not made a fire galley. And there's a dock now for Liereyy, and they don't see each other there.
Liereyy goes for the 2 docks. A bit later there. Ooh, over chop at the woodline, but stopped last second. Archer defense still from the Viper.
Yeah.
That's another stable.
Counter for Viper. Both players saving up food at the moment, Nili, which is interesting to see. And this is the first time that Viper has arrived at Leary's base in a long time. Picks off an archer. We'll pick off another archer. And we'll end up trading evenly against Leary's scouts, as Liereyy is still harassing that woodline. And now Liereyy might dive.
Oh yeah, looks a bit like it. Archers in the defense there. And Viper, that's not an even fight, my man. You're simply 2 upgrades behind. Can't really take that one. The only thing keeping Viper in the game is the massive fish advantage.
Oh, oh my goodness, the archers. It's like he reacts 1 second later than he needs to because Leary's so quick. Look at the KD right now. 39 kills for Liereyy, 21 deaths. And Liereyy is the first one to Castle Age, and Liereyy did not have as many fishing ships as Viper. But he added
crazy them. Well, yeah, let's see. Maybe Fire Galley there at the bottom, as you mentioned earlier. Viper now trying to defend with the scouts, and look at that scale barding armor now coming in. Viper, he wants to play a long feudal age, and Liereyy has a solid army to defend that.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen someone try and stay in feudal age against someone getting to Castle Age faster? We've seen it a lot. It does not work too frequently. Yes, Liereyy might be expected to lose some villagers over the next couple minutes, but if he's able to get to knights and camels, it's going to be so very difficult for Viper. So Viper's got to do as much as he can, as quickly as he can, and he will do that right here, clearing out the archers.
Has to be happy with that pickoff. 7 more archers in production, 2 more scouts in production. Goes for Fire Galley at the bottom now. Liereyy has 1 as well. Should be pretty even. Viper, he needs to find damage ASAP.
Yeah, well, he sees the wood line. That's very good for Viper. He's got enough archers in there to kill villagers, so Liereyy has to abandon the wood line. Now he'll try and push this hill on the left, but Liereyy was prepared So he has enough scouts to hold. And Liereyy also is full walling the right-hand side. It's something that Liereyy has been maybe criticized for in the past, is not doing the small things that other pros do, like walling and getting relics. We've seen Liereyy getting relics in this tournament. And we've seen Liereyy walling and playing safe. And also docking here, adjusting after the quarterfinal and not docking.
Yeah, and... yeah. Wasn't against Velez? Am I confused? Liereyy Velez? Was that the match?
I think Liereyy Velez was, maybe round 1, yeah. But
Yeah,
adjustments
like
have
that.
been made.
Absolutely.
Imagine if Viper gets attacked right now. Like, these units are going to be so strong. And this is before Knights come in. And there'd be Persian Knights, too.
Viper is trying to go for the second barracks, tries to make the Spearman defense happen. Light Cav could wreck this army. Viper has nice numbers, but way low attack.
Yeah, Liereyy just decides he does not want to give Viper any momentum. He's already in castle, and we have a pause. Not sure why that is exactly. Small update on the south. Viper is winning there, but it's only to protect 2 fishing ships.
To get some kills, obviously. And Viper, he did go for that sneaky gold. Is mining 800 or 900 through while we continue.
All right, we continue, and that's a really awkward pause. I have no way of knowing who did that, but like, you're already in the fight. So Lierey's like, let's stay in the fight, and Liereyy might just win the game with this fight if he can get enough Knights to back this up, because all of Viper's scouts are going to go down.
Oh boy, that was so sick. And Light Cav, that's something that Liereyy is absolutely happy with, trading it off. Wants to go for Knights anyways. Another raid coming over those Light Cav. Luckily for Viper, very low though.
Viper can quick wall, but I don't think he can quick wall fast enough. Viper has... Okay, he does, but still, there's so many areas that Liereyy can hit. Lierey's killing villagers on the gold.
Spearman numbers at the moment at 8. 6 more in production. Tries to make a defense happen there. Knights are having a great day trying to kill everything. Spearman numbers very low now.
This is over. This is over. Lierey's going to get the next win. There's just no way I could see Viper ever coming back. His idols are off the charts. And Liereyy is going to have either more of a boom or he's going to have more Knights. I say that and I don't see any more Knights coming forward. But I was expecting it. Just imagine if Liereyy found the gold for Viper on the left. He probably doesn't realize that Viper also has villagers over there.
Oh yeah, how can he, right? Did he even scout that one? No, completely out of his vision. He only scouted the 2 points and then very much through the center. And I think he's just grouping up for a big Knight attack.
Crazy. Yeah, he's just going to wait. We'll have full upgrades. A lot of players will not go for iron casting as early as Liereyy did there because they prefer to have a few more Knights. Viper actually clicks up, so that might be the classic curse of the commentator or just me talking too soon. Viper still has a lot of fishing ships in those ponds, Nili, so despite the villager losses, it is 61 eco for him and 67 for Liereyy. Also, faster Lithuanian trash, right? So you can get to pikemen. Do you think Liereyy needs a tech switch here? Do you think he needs siege or scorpions, or do you think that he can continue with knights?
I think some scorpions would be pretty nice. I think at the moment he's trying to push through, though. Has a lot of knights. Look at that, 13 on the field. Goes for 6 more in production. Now wants to jump.
He fights it.
Lots of spearmen, though.
Lots of spearmen and the archers. But I think Liereyy must realize that Viper will want to upgrade these at some point. Knights with full upgrades. Spears with full feudal upgrades. I think that fight doesn't look that convincing, but the second 3 more knights arrive, Viper loses everything. 2 more knights arrive, and Liereyy runs away. But Viper's still losing vills.
Trading off so much, but yeah, Viper has idols behind this one. Needs to keep his numbers alive. You have to question, do you think maybe a 3rd barracks could have been an option here for Viper?
I think if he adds the 3rd barracks, he's even more forever feudal age. I think it's over. Wow. Liereyy goes up 2 games against the Viper here in the semifinal. Nili, you had said that you think Liereyy wins today 3-2. We both said it was going to be close. We both thought it'd be very competitive. So far, what has been the difference between the 2 players? In that game, it was all Liereyy in mid-feudal onwards.
Liereyy, he was very greedy, not going for a spearman against a guy that opened all the scouts, and Viper did not anticipate that. Didn't really take the engagement, didn't really try to pick off the archers early on, could have taken some fights there. And then we had this one super hectic scenario where both players killed so much on either side, but Viper simply having higher losses because he went for the docks way earlier than Liereyy.
Yeah, Viper invested a lot into those scouts. Like, he was slower to archer numbers because he added the stable first and also the food for the scouts. And I don't recall him killing a villager. And also didn't even attack the archers there, so maybe we can look back to that. I also have to just give credit to Liereyy for how mobile he was able to be, because it was Viper who took the initiative early. It was Liereyy reacting to Viper, and then Liereyy saw an opportunity to take a few good fights, turn that into controlling the entire game, and he corrected his mistakes from previous sets where he never added the fishing ships and never docked. Since he had fishing ships as well behind it, Viper's fishing ships did not give him the potential to come back.
I don't really 100% know. Maybe Viper simply had the docks too early, not allowing him to have enough villagers on farmers, not enough on food, and therefore not getting the upgrades on his scouts.
It was not a very close game. I've seen much closer cross games before. Viper he's got to step up, man. He's got to turn it around. We've seen it before. I can recount times when I first started watching Age of Empires. I think it was in the Maldives. It was a final, but Viper was down 2-0 in a best of 5. Came back to win 3-2 against Mr. Yo. You can think of Hidden Cup finals. Viper coming back, he was 3-run down to max. Came back to win 4-3. So it's not unheard of for Viper to come back here. But the way the games are looking, it doesn't seem like Viper's that close to Liereyy at the moment.
Yeah, I remember, like, I even did the post-interview in the Maldives with him, and I asked him, like, oh, you were down 2-0. What was your thought process? And he was like, it's likely that I still win.
Yeah, and I remember Yo was sitting next to him. That was brutal. like Viper says that after coming back, and Yo's just sitting there, like, with a frown on his face, you know? But anywho, let's look to the maps and civilizations, because Viper, he's going to need a real convincing display on his next home map. And he has Golden Swamp. So you had said Saracens for Golden Swamp makes sense. I recall Viper using Saracens with great success in this tournament. And also I think Dal had prepped a strategy, maybe even Tato for this, and they're all teammates. So you're thinking Saracens then, Nili?
I think Saracen for Golden Swamp, and then I see some problems, honestly, for Haboob. Because we won't have a cavalry civilization. It's very likely that Aztecs and Mayans will be used for the 2 Liereyy home maps. Could be more mobility for Liereyy there, but I think we have to think game to game now. Because at the moment it is the situation that Liereyy just one game away from making it into a final. Hasn't been happening in the past, right?
Yeah, against his
recent past.
Yeah, against his teammate as well. So it just hasn't looked good for Viper at all. I said that when I saw the draft. I also didn't like the draft. Allowed Persians and Huns to be picked for Liereyy. And it looks brilliant if you win with Lithuanians on cross. But if you lose with Lithuanians on cross, you start to think, why didn't he go for Persians himself? Who knows? Speculation is real, man. And people are just shocked.
And someone just asking, like, when was the last time Viper didn't reach the final in a big tournament? That has to be quite some time ago, right? Maybe MSC? Something like that? Losing against Doubt? Was that, like, summer?
Well, I mean, that again was another tournament with different settings, too. You know, like, not these standard Age of Empires. That would be always the thing that's going to be brought up. But I think they've started the game. So we'll get our questions answered if Viper can come back or not here. And recently, whether it's been in show matches or if it's been in tournaments for Viper, I feel like if he does lose, it's not a close loss. Whereas if he wins, it's like all or nothing. You know what I mean? Like either sweeps or gets swept type of a deal. But let's talk about Huns on Golden Swamp. Liereyy did not use Huns on cross previously. Got the win. He's going Huns on Golden Swamp against Viper Saracens.
Let's take a look into that. Opens with the archer range. Obviously not having to build any houses. Easy transition there. Can go for some water. Can go for some land. Goes for lots of walls early on. On the other side, the Viper opened with an archery range. Nothing too special yet.
Yeah, nothing too special yet until the market comes up. So, market is cheaper with Saracens. And also, they have amazing market rates. So, what you tend to see is sell all your stone. Oh, Sarah, I'll switch sides on our overlay here so that makes more sense for you guys. Yeah, you sell the stone, and then you use that gold to buy food and go for lightning fast castle time. Now, I'd say there's definitely a downside to that. Because if your attack doesn't work, your economy is going to be relying on the market, Nili. But also, there's a huge upside, and you can do damage before any other civ would have the possibility to.
Yeah, breaking through those walls, you get castle edge so quickly. We have seen crazy times with them. So far, Viper getting in some vision, but lost a lot of HP with the scout. Needs to run away.
Yeah, well, run away. You got to imagine he's going to be fine with a spearman at home. What are you seeing anything surprising about Lierey's approach at the moment? Because he has to know what Viper's going for. It's just, can he stop it?
For market himself, wants to maybe take a look at the market rates there. He is not going for a dog at all. I think pretty standard timing, right? It just feels like, okay, go fast castle, go some skirmisher defense, and try to approach the game in castle age.
Yeah, and it is good for him that he has his berries, his wood, and his gold on the back if Viper goes for crossbows, which is probably going to be the play. Viper even adding fishing ships. You know, this is not something I was expecting with this strategy. But I feel like since you're not going to have as good of an economy, going for fishing ships might be good. But Liereyy sold his stone against Saracens, and he is going to up before Saracens to the next stage.
This is weird. Remember, guys, like market trade rates are for everyone on the full map, and therefore, if you sell earlier, it's actually better for you because prices are getting worse after someone sells.
Yeah, I personally believe. This isn't actually a belief. I wasn't looking. I think Viper sold first. I'm gonna rely on Twitch chat. Maybe tell me who they saw sell first. But I think Viper got advantage of the better prices. That really was not a great trade for Liereyy, but he knows the danger of Viper getting to Castle Age faster and wanted to do it himself.
Go into Lierey's point of view, Tristan.
Yeah.
And look at the top. He does not know that that's open. Now go into the point of view of the Viper. He did send one spearman in, and Liereyy sends the villager to wall.
Well, the archers were coming around. You're right. Liereyy checking, and we get a house up.
I don't think so.
Oh!
Viper won't attack. Viper won't attack. Just passing. He doesn't want to go for the villager. He's just going around.
That's so smart from Viper. That's so smart from Viper, because if he attacks it with the archers, then Liereyy could react. Oh, Viper, do you think he waits, or do you think he...
He hides.
Oh
he hides
my...
there.
Oh
the
my god.
Sneaker of all sneakers.
The sneaky sneaker of all sneakers in the semifinal. Never thought I would have been hearing that today. Oh my word. And now meanwhile, you see the scout go down for Liereyy. And Viper has yet to get his upgrades.
Building a demo. Wanted to go for the second dog, but then realized, okay, archers are coming through the center, needs to wall behind this one. One galley should be good. And Viper, it's really important that he has those army on non-attack stance. Waits for crossbow, waits for Watkin, and we'll find a lot of Fitcher kills.
Yeah, and I think Liereyy might get hit by a demo as well. I don't know which side to look to right now. See if Liereyy hesitates when he's next to the
let's take a look
dog.
at the demo. It's at 90%.
Oh my god. This could be huge on both sides. Boom and boom. Viper is not dead yet. This should win him the game, Nili.
Absolutely, and Liereyy, no reaction. Yes, we sat on both ends, but didn't realize. GG, what a quickie, 7 minutes, 34 seconds.
Wow, oh my god. Huge plays on both sides. In terms of highlights, that is probably as good as it gets. To kill your opponent's entire army, I guess, okay, there's one crossbow on 7 HP, excuse me. But to kill your opponent's entire army and then destroy their eco at the same time, you just don't see that.
Really, really tough as well. Only mangonels are a real option, and he had to have the whole... What a crazy move by the Viper. Going in there with the spearman, then passing, hoping that Liereyy doesn't see it. Liereyy did wall, and then the perfect timing attacking at both sides.
Yeah, Nili, you called it. If he attacks that villager, he gets one kill. but then Lierey's able to react. If he hides behind the wood line, then he gets more than one kill and wins the game. So, beautiful stuff from Viper. I was really impressed with Lierey's uptime, and I was excited to see it. I wanted to see what he could do against Saracens, but we won't get to see that at all. So, okay, another quick game with Saracens involved and Red Bull Wololo. 10 kills, 4 deaths. These statistics are probably the most underwhelming statistics ever because it was such a short game. But Viper will now prep for game 4.
Yeah, and he has to be happy. Now we have 2 Liereyy home maps coming up. Viper needs to win both of them. Still massive task ahead of us.
Okay, so this is going to be this is now going to be Liereyy having prepped strategies. Viper had 2 home maps. He lost on one of them and also lost in game 1 Arabia. So if Liereyy was going to be strong in any of these games and have a plan for any of these games, it would be the next 2 potential games. And you at home can see the civilizations, and you can also see the maps. Nili and I are just here to speculate. We'll see it soon enough. All right. Nili, thoughts on what we'll see here?
I think we will see Aztecs on Haboob, Mayans on Eruption. On the other side, probably Magyars on Haboob. And I would go for Berbers on Eruption, but not liking them too much.
Okay. You're not a fan of Berbers on Eruption. I think they are... Oh, no, they're 1-1. I was going to say undefeated, but Viper ended up beating Berbers the other day. Okay.
And,
For Viper, what about Viper? You think he goes Mayans on Eruption like he did before, and then Aztecs on Haboob?
Yeah, I think so. Fast production through the center. I don't really see Melee having a great advantage there. Your bonus comes because you fly to Castle Age much faster, but Haboob and Eruption, you need to go for massive army first.
Yeah, I feel like Aztecs, we might get there if Viper wins on Eruption. Aztecs are not a civ that you would normally see on Haboob because they cannot create scouts. Score is 2-1.
Seems like no spec delay here. We can directly jump into the action. If you're ready, Tristan.
I'm ready. Let's do it. And actually, it's not going to be Eruption, excuse me. It will be Haboob, and Viper goes for the Mayans.
Interesting choice. Wants to go for mass archers. Goes for a lot of walls in the back. Actually blocking a lot of wood for himself. 5 villages on gold. What are they doing at the gold? Okay, now they work.
They're dancing, yeah.
Out.
Are you surprised to see Viper pick Mayans here and not on Eruption?
Can be Aztecs there. They play not too differently.
Okay.
Maybe wanted to go for more monks against Berbers?
Yeah, maybe. That's true. I'm just curious because I was personally expecting to see Aztecs here and then Mayans elsewhere. But range opening for both. The big difference here is that Magyars, they have the cheap scouts and they can make scouts. Mayans cannot do that. We will not see any more horses for Viper unless he converts them over the rest of the series.
Going to be a big task for him. Heavily housed here. 35 out of 35.
Oh my goodness. There goes that Vill advantage. Housed badly. And you see that a lot on these aggressive maps, don't you? Because of everything going on. But so far it's been very slow. So I'm surprised to see that.
Well, in RM, it's just so much easier, right? You know exactly your timings. Okay, this is the moment I build 2 houses, then I build 1, then I build another one. Here, it's not that easy. Just so new for so many people now rushing out the second archery range.
These are the maps and situations where Liereyy wins sets. Like, to be able to micro so well so early has gotten him so far in this tournament. I remember Viper, I don't want to say hugely struggling, but slightly struggling against Nikov, who went heavy aggro against him yesterday. Viper said that was the best Nikov that he's ever played. Nikov was close, and right now Liereyy looking better on the front, but he also has the potential for more mobility, so it makes sense.
I think Viper needs to play incredibly aggressive in this game, and I'm already asking myself, should he go for third archery range? Should he add a second barracks? He can't play with only 3 production, otherwise Liereyy will overwhelm him.
And Liereyy has the speed potential with these scouts. Viper having to leave the berries already. He deletes a house, and now he's housed! He deleted a house to save an archer, and now he's housed!
Had to save the archer. Look at his house next to the archery range.
He didn't
was
finish
just
it.
so unfortunately built. And yeah, he's not going for that one. Third archery range. Ay, what an ugly opening for Viper.
A very ugly opening. Liereyy, it's just clean as can be. And he, of course, does not know how... Oh, you know what? That was really good for Viper. Okay. You know, we're only looking at Viper's economy, so we could see all the little things that go wrong, but that wasn't that bad for Viper after all.
Okay, still has 7 archers around now. Scouts need to run away. Getting +1/+1 already. But the thing is, now Liereyy, he just can go skirm and scout, and it's tough for Viper to face that.
Yeah, Liereyy wants to keep track of the archers. He sees Viper's only on archers. He also sees the 3 ranges, Nili. So you called that Viper needs more production. He's going to do that. And Liereyy already has fletching and will have armor. Imagine the skirmishers are just going to be waiting at home, and for the first time, Liereyy tries to go for Vil picks. Viper was collecting some stone. I believe every single one of these villagers has 10 stone. Let's see, does he have enough stone to build 2 towers now? He does not because he lost that villager.
Indeed. Did calculate that one. Should have been 5 villagers collecting 10 each,
stone.
getting us to 125 again.
Yeah, so he cannot build another tower, which is why he was sending the Vils out there without a mining camp. Liereyy tracks Viper's archers.
Archers, Tristan. Not far away from the wood line. Could end another game if Liereyy is not taking track of it.
I guess the question is, did Liereyy notice he lost the scout over there?
He did.
It looks like he did, but he doesn't have a lot of units going over there, Nili. And
in the center. Loses against archers. There's so much happening again.
20 military for Viper. The extra production is working for the snake. And Liereyy has all of his wood here. Viper forced to take an engagement, though.
Yeah, he doesn't mind that too much. Can take the fight against 3 skirmishes there. Shouldn't be the worst thing. Problem is only if the scouts are coming over, then he can micro against that one, though. But we have all the upgrades on the scouts.
Oh, all the upgrades on the scouts. And Viper has to make a decision. Do I stop to attack the scouts? If I don't stop to attack the scouts, it's trouble. Viper might lose most of this army, but he's got more on the front, Nili.
Has to take a good fight at the front because he's losing all of his archers there. Just accept the losses. Wanted to do some more micro, not going to happen. Pushes Liereyy away from like 5-6 farms.
And Liereyy still has enough skirmishers, though, to hold it. And this is why we've not seen Meso Civilizations picked for these maps. It's all about scouts, archers, and skirms. Viper can't go scouts. Dude doesn't have a real strong answer in Feudal Age to these skirmishers. The only answer would be eagles.
And indeed, that's what he's going for. At the second barracks, goes for the defense upgrade.
Viper fighting for his tournament life. He made it to the finals. Last Red Bull Wololo did not win. Everyone was shocked. Many are shocked to see him down right now. Not everyone who plays with Liereyy, I'm sure, though. Like, Liereyy has been in the conversation for years for a reason. It's a lot more military for Viper. Or sorry, it was. I see the second stable's paying off now, and the cheap scouts for Liereyy.
Now at the berries of Viper, has to pull the villagers again. Is, well, close, but not 100% where he wanted to be. Oh, only 1 villager loss.
Yeah, and decent micro. The big thing for Viper is, are his eagles going to be alive? Because if his eagles are alive, then the skirmishers aren't as big of a deal. It doesn't look like the eagles are surviving, and Lierey's happy to use the skirmishers to attack the archers. Also happy to be underneath Viper's town center. Even sniped a villager there. 2.
Wow, finds more kills than I would have expected there for sure. Viper not really reacting. Still has villagers on stone there. What is that? He has 9 villagers on stone? What's happening?
I think it's just because of how messy this game has become. Impossible for him to be able to structure his economy as he would like. Constantly reacting to Liereyy. Liereyy, funny enough, it says he only has 1 more villager than Viper. He is researching Wheelbarrow right now, though, which idles the TC from being able to create villagers.
Oh, quick waltz there next to the gold. Villagers blocking that one off. Does an okayish job there. Another eagle killed. I think just mass towers for Viper and then trying to loop around, trying to find some kills against the woodline again. Could be a winning strategy.
It just seems like tower defense and desperation market for Viper is going to be the only way now, as he tried to place a tower here. And Liereyy sees the villagers as they're running back to the TC. It was good from Viper to try and get back to the town center, but the tower itself was very questionable.
Pretty sure what he wanted to do there. Maybe control the other gold. Now 50 HP on that one. is not canceling it. Archers, are they trying to find another angle?
Well,
Just heard a market from Viper.
there's an angle for Liereyy behind the stone. It's kind of a blessing in disguise for Viper because I think he might have had too many on stone. But then again, he wants more towers, and he's definitely trying to go up. Liereyy could also go up to Castle Age soon and has a lot of potential to damage Viper's woodline and even some of the gold.
Viper now accepts, okay, I won't build any more army. Did build the market, is trying to juggle some resources, is sending all villagers over to the other wood line, wants to hold this one, will be up to Castle Age, but only slightly faster.
That looks really... That was actually really smart from Viper. I think a lot of players would have bought 100 stone there to place a tower, but he knew if he did that, he wouldn't be in Castle Age as fast because he wouldn't have the gold. So he repositioned the lumberjacks. It's less efficient right now, but it'll still be in Castle Age faster. Also, he has a villager bugged into the lumber camp. It's stuck in there. So I don't know if he's going to be able to sort that issue out.
Oh, and is that from the beginning? No. Whoop.
I
just bugged out.
Yeah, I guess he's back now. Okay, congrats, man. He's running away now. He doesn't want to chop wood anymore. Well, we walked through that lumber camp too. What's this guy doing? Is he going to walk through the next one?
I have no idea.
I want to continue to look at that, but Viper has a big ball of archers trying to end the game in early castle on the right side.
Oh, and Liereyy did do town watch, so he sees till the edge of the map. That's really, really nice for him. Viper, even if he wanted to squeeze through there, will be spotted.
I feel like Viper's towers might just do it. And the greedy fast castle time. Or not fast castle time, sorry, but you guys know what I mean. Reminds me of Yo, falling back into crazy towers and then going for a counter. I remember Caponch had to deal with that in game 1 in their set. Also not getting anywhere near Lierey's base, so Liereyy can't see that. Because he saw the house and he backed away. Really smart thinking from Viper.
Yeah, we'll probably wait for Castle Age, maybe for some reaction at the front, and then prepare for the attack. Instant crossbow, goes for thumping as well.
Oh.
And you see how he had crossbow in the first archer range, but then goes for something else and goes for it in the back.
Yeah, so he will get those upgrades, Nili. It's going to be YOLO from Viper, and Liereyy will spot this, barely, and he's going to build a town center on the woodline. Thank God that he chopped enough wood there, because had he not, I don't think he would be able to get this TC up, and that might just save that area. But I still think the gold is going to be questionable for him.
Let's take a look. Liereyy is sending everything back. He knows about it. Gets light cav, gets husbandry, +2 defense, but we have ballistics on the other side. That's not a killing army by the Viper.
No, I think he was really hoping that it would win him the game, though. And now he knows that Liereyy knows that he's here, and he will have to nerd out as much as possible. I feel like if there's no range for Liereyy, it could be a difficult situation for him. +2 armor is great, but if the archers can clump, that's best case scenario for Viper. The 17 crossbows. Still 11 units for Liereyy and getting some big hits. He'll clear it.
Viper maybe microed a bit too much there. It's now stacking quite nicely.
Yep.
He's having an army at the front, but that's still so many skirms alive as well.
Nili, that fight right there, that was so costly for Viper. He got every upgrade he could. And now it's 28 military against 10. Lierey's on 2 TCs, so he can boom there. And Liereyy has the mobility. Like, Viper he's kind of in an all-in situation here. And he's still going to need to play defense.
Yeah, and the spots where you see Viper making miraculous comebacks is he has somehow 4 TCs working, can boom away from the opponent, and can out-macro while he makes great decisions, takes some crucial hills. Won't be the option here. Sits at 1 TC.
Yeah, it's that or microing a big army like that to death. I guess he microed it to death, but not the way he would have wanted. Great movement from Liereyy, and Lierey's got to taste it now. Finally, a win against Viper in a big tournament, and then a tournament final for him. Viper has to be in so many different places right now as Liereyy pounces on the Maginot with his Knights and Light Cav. He has skirmishers and Knights on the wood line. He is everywhere. Viper has 13 idols and less villagers.
Villagers might let those Knights into the woodline as well. Not going to happen for now. So much inefficiency there. Mangle numbers not great because the Knights that snipe them. Liereyy still goes for more aggression, and there's not a counter attack that could allow the Viper to come back.
I think we'll see the GG here shortly. I know that normally Viper would try, but yeah, I don't see how Viper could do this. Even if he tried to hang on for 5 minutes, it would just get worse. So Viper, who normally makes it to the finals and wins finals, will not make it to the Red Bull Wololo 2 final. Nili and I have been casting this game for a long time. Normally, we're very used to seeing the Norwegian in a final. That will not be the case today. It will be two teammates, two Aftermath teammates, Hera and Liereyy, both of which have had an amazing year.
Oh man, I won't go into any Age of Empires forums for the next 3 months, I believe. There will be so much discussion about the Viper. Is his dynasty over? What happened there? What are the excuses this time? I will go with Liereyy as an absolute beast.
Yeah, like, that's exactly what you need to say. Credit the winner. Viper would do exactly the same regardless of what some fans may say here or there with an excuse or two. I don't know. Viper always has given credit to his opponents in win or here defeat. Wow. Well, we'll sum this up briefly. Liereyy with 77 kills and 41 units lost. His eco was good. His mobility was good. His drafting was good. His home maps were good. Okay, Nili, question for you. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of time to discuss this. Between Liereyy and Hera, who played better in their semifinal? Because you casted both